Welcome to our series on improving productivity with mentoring. And this first program, what is mentoring? Now the question is, what's the fastest growing age group in the labor force? The answer is workers 45 and over. In fact, the demographic research shows that 76 million baby boomers, and that's people born between 1948 and 1964, will be leaving the workforce in the coming years. According to a study by McKinsey & Company, while younger workers are coming in, the supply of key talent is going to decline 15% over the next 15 years, while demand for that talent will be increasing by 25%. The business knowledge of the 20-somethings is very different than the 50 or 60-somethings. The 20-somethings are very technologically savvy. They're used to doing more than one thing at a time. They're very comfortable with collaborative systems. The 50-somethings, they've got experience under their belt. They've got knowledge. They've been through a lot. They've got business smarts, business acumen. And so you see a very different list of skills, and the issue is, well, how do you transfer that from one side to the other? For example, take a car engine. You can learn how a car engine works in a couple of hours, but it takes years to be able to listen to that engine and tell what's wrong with it. The same thing is going to happen in the organization. Lots of organizational knowledge and experience is going to be lost if we lose all of the experience without any attempt to capture that departing expertise. That's the key question. What do we do about it? We've got all these folks with knowledge that are leaving and all these folks that don't have the knowledge that need it. So what can we do? Well, one of the great things is research indicates that baby boomers like collaborative learning and they like working in teams. That's a great way to make this happen. In fact, what does this idea of mentoring, the word mentoring, come from? Well, in the writings of Homer, he wrote of Odysseus, who was the king of Ithaca, and when he left for the Trojan War, he left his son, Telemachus, in care of his friend, Mentor. So that's where the word mentoring comes from. So how do we define mentoring? Well, it's the voluntary relationship between an experienced employee and a less experienced employee. Notice the key word. Voluntary relationship. This isn't something you're forced to do, something you have to do. This is something you want to do on both sides. And we'll call the two people in this relationship from here on out the mentor, the person that has all the knowledge, and the protege, the other person that can use the knowledge and experience. The goal of mentoring is really very simple. It's to accelerate the learning and transfer of knowledge. You can even argue as to make it happen at all. The idea is to make sure that you get the knowledge transferred and to do it as efficiently and quickly as possible. And so mentoring is really a significant piece of the strategic plan to ramp up the skills of your employees. It's an important strategy in today's organizations with these demographic changes taking place. So what does a mentor do? Who is the mentor? Well, first, it's an employee with wisdom, with experience, and it's someone that can be trusted. So it's a trusted advisor and counselor. Someone who can give advice, and in this relationship, the mentor agrees to share his or her knowledge and experience openly, fairly, and without reservation. The protege, on the other hand, is an employee with needs, who shows potential for growth. So here's someone we think that can really take this information and run with it, develop as a leader, develop as a lead professional, but also, it's not a one-way relationship. Brings new viewpoints to the issues at hand, and so the mentor-protege relationship isn't just one way. Again, it's important to understand it's the other way, and the protege agrees to make an effort to absorb all this new information and then to use it to improve performance in the organization. Now, research studies in mentoring systems show that there are significant positives of mentoring, that it generates increased productivity, that it creates higher employee retention. So people involved in a mentoring relationship, they're learning, they're growing, they're better at their job, they're staying to work on it, and it increases job satisfaction. All of those are hand in hand, and so those are big benefits for mentoring. Now, just a quick note. Understand that mentoring doesn't have to be this big formal system. It can certainly be casual, so it can be formal or casual, but our focus here is primarily formal, although the series contents are going to help either way. Now, there's all kinds of variations of mentoring other than just one person sitting down with another person. So, for example, there's flash mentoring. Think of it as the speed dating. It's just lunch or speed dating. Well, speed mentoring. So it might be just sitting down, hitting a problem, sharing an opinion, and boom, you're gone. It could be group mentoring, where there's a mentor and a group of proteges who meet and talk like some of the TV doctor programs where the expert doctor has all the student doctors around. It could be peers, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a mentor. It could be different people at the same level of experience, but with different experiences, different parts of the organization or whatever who are sharing with each other. It could be reverse mentoring. So, for example, when it comes to technology, the younger worker, the protege, may actually be sharing information with a mentor on how to utilize new technology. And it could be situational. So, for example, a person's involved in negotiating with a vendor, so perhaps they go tap into some of the expertise they have over in purchasing in terms of negotiating the deal with a mentor there. It could be team mentoring, the other way around, more than one mentor to a single protege. It could be virtual, so it could be remote. It could be over the phone, or it could be over a webcast, or it could be sharing or using a webcam. So the same thing's happening that would be happening in person, but using technology to make the connection. Or it could be what's buried in the system from a supervisory standpoint with the individual development plan. So it could be the typical day-to-day relationship in which the supervisor takes the role, not only of the supervisor, but a mentor in helping employees develop. Mentoring. What is it? Well, it's a strategy for developing employees while saving the organization time and money. What is mentoring not? This is not a warm, fuzzy, feel-good initiative. This is not something we'll do just because that gets people together and communicating. No, it has to have business results. Mentoring also, for the proteges, it's not a guarantee of a new job. You say, oh wow, I'm in this mentoring relationship, that means I'll get promoted. It's not access to the mentor's network. Oh, if I can connect to this high-level mentor, I can start hanging around with the execs. It's not a visit to the psychologist where the protege goes and meets with a mentor and dumps all of their problems on them. Oh, Moan, I've got this problem. What am I going to do? And then have someone trapped to listen to it. And this is a bit surprising. It's not coaching. It's not traditional coaching, which is, I have this tactful thing to do and I want to know how to do it. It's really a larger issue than that. It's learning. It's decision making. It's understanding, analyzing, coaching. That's a supervisory function based on the job. The mentor, by definition, probably isn't qualified to coach on a specific job activity. It's the supervisors. So mentoring is not coaching. Here we go. That's what mentoring is and is not. Sound interesting? Does that sound like something that can benefit your organization? Well, that's what mentoring is. Next, okay, why a mentoring program? What are the benefits? And that's what we'll look at as we continue our look at improving productivity with mentoring.